So we are done with we are done with DC sources. So what we have studied there, I'll just recapitulate. We started with Kirchhoff's voltage law, Kirchhoff's current law, KVL and KCL. Then we studied mesh analysis, node analysis. Then we studied super mesh and super node analysis. Then we covered again all the same topics using dependent sources. Initially we had studied using independent sources. Right, then what we studied DC network theorems, so which were including superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, and maximum power transfer theorem. So we considered one example using independent source for all the theorems, and rest examples were using dependent sources, right? So the next part of the module is, so this was regarding 1.1 part of the module 1. So next part is 1.2, which is about self-inductances and mutual inductances. So the important topic with regards to exam point of view is dot convention. So let's start with that. So you see, this is a bar and the current is flowing in this way across that bar. So you see, I have shown the current with red line. So it is flowing like this. It is seen here. It is not seen here. It is seen here. It is not seen here. Again seen here, but not seen here. What does it mean? It is going like this, and then behind the bar it is. Again above the bar and here behind the bar. Okay. So that is what it means. Same over here. Okay. So now we know by Ampere's law, what we know, if a current flows, it generates a magnetic field around it. Now if you don't know, you can take it as a law. It is actually a law. It is called as Ampere's law. So whenever a current flows through a circuit, it generates a magnetic flux around it, and the inverse of it is also true. That is, whenever a magnetic flux exists, it generates a current along it. So how is the direction given? It is given by right hand rule. So how is the current flowing here? It is flowing upwards. So I give the direction of current by the curled fingers, and my thumb points in the direction of flux. So let me use a green pen. So again, my curled fingers give the direction of current, and my thumb points in the direction of flux. So my flux is in which direction? Towards left. Let's call this as phi. What is happening here? Again, it is going upwards. So again, flux is in the same direction, right? But what is happening here? Here it is going upwards, here it is going downwards. So here flux is pointing in left, right? But here the current is going downwards. So my curled fingers look like this. Behind it is upward. Are you getting this? Yes, since above it is going downwards, behind it will be upwards, right? You see, it is going like this, then going through this path, coming like this, then behind it has to go upwards. So behind upwards, so like this, and thumb now points in the right direction. So what is happening here? Fluxes are in opposite direction. Here they are in same direction, right? So here the mutual inductance we say is positive. What is mutual inductance? Now we know this is a coil. So coil generates what? It is modeled as a inductor, right? That's why it is drawn as inductor here. Then this is also a coil, so it is modeled as inductor. Same over here, right? So now we need to check the mutual inductance. Now these two will generate a mutual inductance in between them since they are close. So how to represent this mutual inductance in this circuit, right? So I have shown the currents in this way only. They are originating in this, like this over here, right? So how to show these mutual inductances? I can use dot convention for that. If they are aiding each other, we say, or they are opposing each other. In this case, what they are doing, they aid each other. In this case, what they are doing, they oppose each other, right? So again, to show the dots, so here they are aiding each other, so I show them in this way. But here what is happening? They are opposing each other, so I show in this way. So you note this during numericals. Here I have put the dot when it is entering the inductor. Here also I have put the dot when the current is entering the inductor. By it I means current. So whenever the current is entering the inductor and the dot is shown, they are always aiding each other. But what is happening here? The current is entering the inductor at this dot, but here it is at leaving the inductor. So if I show this current, how is it? It is leaving the inductor here. So here it is entering, here it is leaving, here it is entering, here it is entering. So this is what this indicates, opposing. I hope you are understanding, right? So this is the way we do this. Okay. So next, let's use some numericals to solve this. So very simple topic. So obtain dotted equivalent circuit for this network. What is shown? V of t, resistor R, current I of t is already given in clockwise direction. Now this is a coiled wire, so that's why they have given it as an inductor L1. Similarly, this is inductor L2. They are separated by a capacitor. They are connected in series through a capacitor. So first step is what? To redraw the network. So let me redraw the network first. Here it is going like this. Here it is coming here, right? So this is R, this is I of t, V of t plus minus C L1 L2, right? So let me use green pen to show the current. So this is my current I. How is it going here? Like this, towards right. Inside it is going towards left. Here it is going towards right. Here downwards. So here it will be like this, right? So now next step is what? So first step is to redraw the network as it is. Second step is to show the direction of current. How will you show the direction of current? This is positive, so current will obviously go like this. So it will come here, then follow the wire itself. Very simple, just follow the wire. So it is going like this, then behind, above, behind, above, right? So next what we have to do? Next step is to assign the flux. So for that what we use? Ampere's law. So here it is going towards right. So it is like this, right? So curl like this. So where is the flux? Upwards. So this flux is upward. So corresponding to inductance L1 it is 5. Here how is it? It is downwards. So downwards. So flux is pointing downwards. So they are opposing in nature. That is, they are not aiding each other. So corresponding to L2, flux phi 2. Right? So next, what do you have to do? So we'll redraw the network, but with modeling this coil as an inductor, this as a capacitor, and this as an inductor, and then we'll give dot convention. So I'll redraw it here. I'll draw the same network, sorry. So I'll use it here. So I'll model this as what? Inductor L1. Then this wire, through this wire only I have a series capacitor. So capacitor, then after this capacitor again I have a coil, so it is modeled by an inductor. So plus minus V of t, this is R, L1, L2, C, right? And current is given, so show it. If it is not shown in the exam, no need to show. But the current will be shown because you have to assume the direction of current. If the current is not shown, you will have to assume it. So some might take it like this, some might take it like this. So the answers will differ. So usually examiner will give the current to avoid confusion. So now dot convention, right? So they are opposing in nature. So how is the current flowing? Again I will use red plane. So this is my current I of t. Strictly speaking, I should say this is I of t, not capital I. Capital I we use usually for what? You should know it by now that it is DC sources. Now we are using AC sources. So current is flowing like this. So now both are opposing each other, right? So what we said a while ago, one should enter and the last it should leave, right? So it is entering here. So this is the dot at the entry, and the current is leaving here. So this should be the dot convention, right? So this is your final network diagram, right? I hope you have understood. Again, they are opposing fluxes. Why they are opposing fluxes? Due to right hand rule, Ampere's law. So for opposing fluxes, what we have seen, what is the diagram? This is the diagram for opposing fluxes. The inductors not current are placed as that when one dot is entering the current, other dot is leaving the current. So one dot is entering the current, other dot is leaving the current. Right? Let's take a next example. So again, obtain same question, obtain dotted equivalent circuit for. So first step is what? Again, to redraw the diagram. It is going like this. Right? Yes. So this is given as J2. I am not writing ohms for paucity of space. You have to write in the exam ohms also. This is J6, this is J5, this is J3, and this first and third are connected using J4. Ohms is everywhere. Okay. So next we'll assume the direction of current. So let's say this is the current I. Remember, I am using small I because they are inductors. So obviously it is an AC source. So for AC source we use the small I, not the capital I. Capital I is reserved for DC. So how will it go here? Upwards. So behind it will go downwards. So here again it will be upwards. So here how will it be? Downwards. Here upwards. So like this it will come upwards. So like this it will go. So here downwards. So here downwards. Here upwards. So here upwards. Like this it will go upwards, downwards, and finally out. Right? So next step is what? To assign fluxes. So here for this part, curved fingers gives the direction of current. So my thumb points in left direction. So this is phi 1. Right? So from left to right I am naming as 1, 2, and 3. So here it is downwards. So for this upwards it was left. So for downwards obviously it should be right. So this is what? Phi 2. So for this what will it be? Again upwards. So this should be right. And what will it be? Phi 3. Right? So how to draw the circuit? So again a green pen. So first thing what we know, 1 inductor, 2 inductor, 3 inductor. Right? So first draw 3 inductors. Then you worry about the dot convention. So these are my 3 inductors. Each value is J3, J5, J6. So J3, J5, J6. Next, these two are J4. These two are J3. These two are J2. Mutual inductance. Right? How I have drawn that mutual inductance between these two, J2, J3. Then between first and third, J4. This arrow should be here. I've gone a bit apart. So next, show the current. So how is the current flowing here? Towards right. So this is the current I. Right? Now let's see the dot convention. So here, first see which are aiding each other. So these two are opposing. First and third are aiding. Both are towards left. This is the arrow towards left. This is the arrow towards left. So current should enter both of them. Right? So here it is entering. So here is the dot. So where is it entering for the third inductor? Remember you have taken first and third. So this it is entering here. So this should be it. Then take any two. Let's take second and third. So second and third, what are they doing? They are opposing each other. So for one, if it is entering, for other it should be what? Leaving. So we have already given this dot as entering. So for this it should be leaving. So it should be this. So we are automatically done with the sum, right? So you see first and second. So first and second again opposing. So here it is leaving. For second it is what? Opposing. So we have automatically got the answer, final answer. Because we have 3 inductors, there will be 3 dots only, not 4 dots or more. So number of inductors equal to number of dots. Right? So just observe this. Think over it. Let's go to the last sum. So again, obtain dotted equivalent circuit for. So what is the first step? To redraw the network. So this is from A right. So this is A, B. This is J2, J3, J5. These two are J6. These are J1. This is J4. Right. So let's second step is what? First step is to redraw the network. What is second step? To assign the current. So let's say it is entering here. So it should leave here. So here it is like this. So here also it should be like this. So it is coming like this. It is coming like this here. So like this here. So up. So up. So here down, up, towards left and right. Right? Correct? So next what we have to do? Assign the fluxes. Right? So here it is towards right. So thumb is pointing upwards. This is phi 1. Here thumb is pointing towards left. Current is flowing upwards, so curled fingers give the direction of current. Thumb points in the direction of magnetic flux. You have studied flux in which subjects? BEE, which chapter? Transformer. So you have studied Ampere's law already, in fact. So again, for this, towards left, curling in this way, so thumb points in which direction? Downward direction. So this is phi 3. So we've got all the three fluxes. Next what we do? We draw the circuit using inductors. So now it is good. The current is going from A to B. So how you have to draw? You have to draw in this way. A to B in a straight line. So how many inductors? 1, 2, 3. Right? So we'll require how many dots? 3 dots. So draw 3 inductors. So these are my inductors J5, J2, J3. So J5, J2, J3. These two are J6. These two are J4. These two are J1. So I have named it. Next what is remaining? Current and flux. Sorry, current and dots. So towards right, towards right, towards right. Next what we do? Assign the dots. So if you see, now it is quite confusing. But if you think in terms of just talked about transformer, right? I just mentioned transformer. So what do you have in a transformer? You have an iron core like this. You show primary coil, secondary coil, right? What do you say? Current is flowing like this, again towards right, like this. So flux points in which direction? Upward direction, right? So what do you see? Since it is a core made of iron, so the total magnetic flux links with the core. So you extend this. So same is happening here. I am showing with red pen. It is getting extended. So it is nothing but an air core only, we can see. So everything is in clockwise direction, right? So everything is continuous. So you can see all are what? Aiding each other. Simple. So if all are aiding each other, so this is entering, this should also be entering, this should also be entering. Again, this is going like this. Let's start from here, from third inductor. It is going downwards. So if I continue further, I am getting the same direction. If I continue further, I am getting the same direction. Let's say I had one more inductor here. Its flux was like this, towards right. So again it is same. So we are getting same direction. So what we are getting? Aiding, not opposing. So since aiding, what we do for aiding? Again we saw here, for aiding, currents are entering for both inductors. So instead of 2, you have 3 here. So what will we do? We have entering for all 3. Right? So this is the way we solve. So let's take one sum for homework. So again question is same. Obtain dotted equivalent circuit for it's not working. This is not there. So this is J5 ohms, this is J3 ohms, this is minus J8 ohms, and this is a resistor of 10 ohms. This is 50 angle 0 degree volts plus minus. So don't have to worry whether this is 50, 60, 70, whatever be this value, whatever be this values, your answer will be same irrespective of the values. We are just using dot convention, we are not solving the circuit. That is the reason your answers will be, final answer will be same irrespective of these values. Even if I change these values, your final answer won't change. What will change? Only, for example, if I make this plus minus negative of each other, so this is minus, this is plus, so current will flow in opposite direction, so the fluxes will be opposite. So in that case your answers will differ. So if the current direction is same, everything will be same. Okay, so solve this as homework, and don't forget about the tutorial next week. It will be Monday most probably. Let's see.